The space race was a thrilling chapter in human history. It was a time of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. This competition took place during the Cold War, a period of geopolitical tension. Both superpowers sought to prove their technological superiority. They wanted to demonstrate their power on the world stage. The space race officially began in 1955. This was a time when the world was gripped by the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both superpowers were eager to demonstrate their technological and scientific prowess, and space exploration became the new frontier for this competition. Both the US and USSR declared their intentions to launch artificial satellites. This announcement marked the beginning of a new era in human history, where the exploration of space was no longer a distant dream but a tangible goal. Scientists and engineers on both sides worked tirelessly, driven by the desire to be the first to conquer the final frontier. The Soviet Union struck first, however, with the launch of Sputnik 1 on October 4, 1957. This event was a monumental achievement for the Soviet space program, showcasing their ability to develop and launch a satellite into orbit. The world watched in awe as Sputnik 1, a small spherical satellite, was successfully launched into space. This small beeping satellite sent shockwaves across the globe. It was a clear demonstration of Soviet technological capabilities and a wake-up call for the rest of the world. The beeping sound of Sputnik 1, transmitted back to Earth, was a constant reminder of the Soviet Union's achievement. It was the first artificial object to orbit Earth. This milestone marked the beginning of humanity's journey into space, opening up new possibilities for exploration and discovery. The success of Sputnik 1 proved that it was possible to send objects beyond our planet and pave the way for future space missions. Sputnik's success challenged American technological dominance. The United States, which had long been considered a leader in science and technology, was suddenly faced with the reality that the Soviet Union had taken the lead in the space race. This realization prompted a sense of urgency and determination among American scientists and engineers. It sparked fear and anxiety among the American public. The launch of Sputnik 1 was not just a scientific achievement, it was also a political statement. Many Americans feared that the Soviet Union's ability to launch a satellite into space meant that they could also launch missiles capable of reaching the United States. This fear was compounded by the ongoing tensions of the Cold War. The space race had begun, and the stakes were high. Both the United States and the Soviet Union were determined to prove their superiority in space exploration. This competition led to rapid advancements in technology and science, as each side sought to outdo the other. The space race would go on to shape the course of history, leading to some of humanity's greatest achievements in space exploration. The launch of Sputnik spurred the US into action. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union successfully launched Sputnik, the world's first artificial satellite. This event sent shockwaves across the globe, especially in the United States, where it was perceived as a significant technological and ideological challenge. The small, beeping satellite orbiting Earth symbolized Soviet prowess and ignited a sense of urgency within the American government and its scientific community. The government and scientific community felt the pressure to catch up. Meetings were held at the highest levels of government, and scientists worked tirelessly in laboratories to devise a response. The Cold War context amplified the stakes, as space became the new frontier for demonstrating national superiority. The United States could not afford to lag behind in this critical arena. In response, the United States formed NASA in 1958. President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act on July 29, 1958. Establishing the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. This new agency was tasked with coordinating America's activities in space, ensuring that the nation would not only catch up, but also surpass Soviet achievements. NASA was created to oversee the nation's civilian space program. Its mission was to pioneer the future in space exploration, scientific discovery, and aeronautics research. The agency quickly set to work, drawing on the expertise of scientists, engineers, and visionaries who were determined to make the United States a leader in space. This marked the beginning of a fierce competition. The space race, as it came to be known, was not just about technological advancement, it was a battle for ideological supremacy. Each milestone achieved by one side was met with a counter-effort by the other, as both nations sought to prove their dominance on the global stage. both countries poured resources into rocket development, satellite technology, and astronaut training. The 1960s saw rapid advancements in these fields, with both the United States and the Soviet Union achieving significant milestones. Rockets became more powerful, satellites more sophisticated, and astronauts underwent rigorous training to prepare for the challenges of space travel. The world watched in awe as the two superpowers pushed the boundaries of space exploration. Televisions around the globe broadcasted the latest developments, and people everywhere were captivated by the drama unfolding in the skies above. The space race was not just a series of scientific achievements, it was a spectacle that captured the imagination of millions, inspiring a new generation to look to the stars and dream of what might be possible. The Soviet Union continued its string of early successes. On April 12, 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space. He orbited Earth aboard Vostok 1, a testament to Soviet engineering. Gagarin's accomplishment was a major propaganda victory for the Soviet Union. It further fueled the space race and motivated the United States to set even more ambitious goals. Following Gagarin's historic flight in 1961, where he became the first human to journey into outer space and orbit the Earth, the world was captivated by the possibilities of space exploration. His achievement marked a significant milestone in the space race, a period of intense competition between the United States and the Soviet Union. In response to this monumental event, President John F. Kennedy announced a bold challenge to the nation land, a man on the moon, before the end of the decade. This declaration was made during a special joint session of Congress on May 25, 1961. Kennedy's vision was not just about beating the Soviets, it was about demonstrating the technological and scientific prowess of the United States. This ambitious goal galvanized the American people and set the stage for the Apollo program. The Apollo program was a series of space missions designed to land humans on the moon and bring them safely back to Earth. It involved thousands of scientists, engineers, and astronauts working tirelessly to achieve this unprecedented feat. Kennedy famously said, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." This speech, delivered at Rice University on September 12, 1962, encapsulated the spirit of determination and innovation that defined the era. It was a call to action that inspired a generation to dream big and reach for the stars. The preparations for the moon landing were extensive and rigorous. Astronauts underwent intense training to prepare for the challenges of space travel. They practiced everything from navigating the lunar module to conducting scientific experiments on the moon's surface. The mission required meticulous planning and coordination, with every detail carefully considered to ensure the safety and success of the astronauts. On July 20, 1969, the world watched in awe as Apollo 11 successfully landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong's famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," echoed across the globe, symbolizing the triumph of human ingenuity and perseverance. The American flag planted on the lunar surface became an iconic image, representing the culmination of years of hard work and dedication. His words captured the spirit of the space race and the relentless pursuit of knowledge and exploration. The Apollo program was a massive undertaking, involving thousands of scientists, engineers, and astronauts. On July 20, 1969, the world watched as Apollo 11 touched down on the lunar surface. Neil Armstrong's words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," echoed across the globe. The United States had achieved Kennedy's goal and won the space race. The moon landing was a defining moment in human history, but the space race did not end there. Both the United States and the Soviet Union continued to explore space. They launched space stations, probes to other planets, and conducted numerous scientific experiments. While the rivalry had cooled, the spirit of exploration continued to drive both nations forward. The space race had a profound impact on technology and society. It led to the development of countless new technologies including transistors, integrated circuits, and digital computers. These innovations revolutionized everyday life and paved the way for the digital age. The space race also inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and astronauts. It showed the world what could be achieved through human ingenuity and international collaboration. The space race may be over, but its legacy lives on. It laid the foundation for modern space exploration and international cooperation in space. Today, nations around the world are working together to explore the cosmos. The space race taught us that we can achieve great things when we work together. It reminds us that the spirit of exploration and discovery knows no bounds.